And I mean truly dishonest people in the media and the fake media, they make up stories. They have no sources in many cases. They say a source says there is no such thing, but they don't report the facts. Just like they don't want to report that I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence, and strongly condemned the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, and the KKK. What happens with them, if they're doing a story about me, I know if it's honest or false. If you're reading a story about somebody, you don't know. You assume it's honest because it's like the failing New York Times, which is like so bad. It's so bad. Or the Washington Post, which I call a lobbying tool for Amazon. Okay, that's a lobbying tool for Amazon. Or CNN, which is so bad and so pathetic, and their ratings are going down.
CNN sucks! Gosh, I just love it. What you just saw there was President Trump, President of the United States of America, capping on the mainstream media, from ABC to the Washington Post to New York Times to Communist News Network. That's their official name as far as I'm concerned. But he literally exposed them for the frauds and the corruptions that they are, and criticized them for not sharing all the details on what went on with Charlottesville, how President Trump has stood against that. And you know what gets me so upset is there's so many people out there who actually just flip on CNN on a news station. They're watching it while they're working out or whatever the case may be. And they're seeing the events play out and all they hear is Donald Trump's a racist and let's take this out of context and he hasn't done this issue or this particular thing. Makes me sick to my stomach. But if you did not get to see some of the things that Donald Trump had said at that rally there in Phoenix, I encourage you to watch it in its entirety. I've just played a few of the highlights from it. But with that, I want to say this. Look, there were people outside the door waiting to get in to that rally here in Phoenix. So not everybody was allowed in. There was lines of people outside the door that weren't even allowed into the area because there was not enough room to fit them all for the area that they had. Not only that, but the protesters. I was flipping through the stations and I had paused on, unfortunately, ABC, another very bad mainstream media site, and they were talking about the protests and how the protests are out of control outside and all of that, and the lady that was speaking was talking about, oh, there were tens of thousands of protesters, she said. And I stood up in my chair, rolling on the floor with laughter because there was barely, not even 100, I don't know, maybe at the most 100 out there. And so they're just straight up lying. People need to see them for the fraud that they are and for the things that they're doing. And look, here's the thing. We battle, us on alternative media are trying to get the true story, no matter what it was, no matter what it is, no matter what's going on. I'm gonna shoot you straight with what's going on with Donald Trump. If he does something that I don't like, I'm gonna share that. If he does something I do like, then I'm gonna share that also. But the mainstream media twists his words because they're not after the America First agenda. They could care less about America. Donald Trump even made a comment yesterday at the rally saying he doesn't think they're for America, and I have to agree wholeheartedly. These people in the mainstream media care not for America. They care about a global new world order process that they're attempting to bring in, and they're bolstering their numbers and making themselves look bigger than they are in order that people start thinking they're the majority. Let's get something straight. Those on the left, those pushing the globalist agenda are not the majority. They're not. They hijack other movements like the women's right movement. Okay, for example, women went out there and marched for women's freedoms, women's rights. It had nothing to do with marching for women's rights to be part of Sharia law or marching for women's rights to stand against Donald Trump. Yet the whole march, they twisted the entire ordeal and made it on a march against Donald Trump and acted like the women that were in attendance there were anti-Trump, and not everyone there was. That's the thing. So they hijack movements, they take them over because that's all they have. That's all they got. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise because they're just a bunch of frauds and liars. And I wanted to do a video on that today just to really show the truth of who these people are and expose them. Look, if you've got people on the left who are believing a lot of the lies that are going on, show them the truth. Show them what's really going on. Show them the clips, show them the video, show them the evidence, show them the proof. And hopefully one day we can wake them up from their slumber. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that and just give you my tidbits on what went on in Phoenix. Keep in mind, Donald Trump, you know, he's fighting for us here in America, so keep him in prayer. And don't believe what the mainstream media is telling you. They said nothing about the lines outside. They overbolstered the numbers of protestees, which wasn't even accurate. I mean, it's straight up lies now. Sometimes there's a hint to truth in what these people are saying, but now it's just gone straight into loony bin. Anyhow, don't forget to check out my partner at TradeGeniusAcademy.com. He's got amazing things there, Bob Kudla does, where he can teach you how to do the stock market, how to do Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, all that stuff. So go to Trade Genius Academy and use the code MAKEMONEY for 50% off. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.